Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Chicago Fire shows no signs of slowing down, ending the year as NBC's most watched original series. As 2024 draws to a close, Chicago Fire fans have something more to celebrate as NBC's original One Chicago drama has ended the year as NBC's most watched original series of the year. That's right, Chicago Fire might be in its 13th season, but the hit series shows no signs of slowing down and locking down the top spot when it comes to viewership thus far this season when it comes to non-sports programming, aka Sunday Night Football. Season to date, Chicago Fire is averaging 7.8 million total viewers, making it NBC's top-rated non-sports program, as well as the fourth most watched drama on all of broadcast TV. While the show's total viewership is down just a tad from last season, 8% to be exact, the fact that Chicago Fire remains the most watched original series on NBC is a major victory for a show that is getting up there in seasons, a time when ratings tend to start falling off for many shows. And it's not just Chicago Fire that continues to perform well for NBC. Chicago Med and Chicago PD round out the top 3 most watched non-sports programs on NBC, with Chicago Med Season 10 averaging 7.4 million total viewers and Chicago PD Season 12 averaging 6.9 million total viewers. As TV Line points out, this is the smallest audience gap for Chicago Med and Chicago Fire in 4 years, with Med really seeming to hit a stride in Season 10. In addition to leading the charge at NBC, all 3 One Chicago shows also landed within the top 10 most watched and top-rated dramas of the season, which is an amazing feat for a trio of long-running series. Needless to say, the numbers the One Chicago shows continue to pull in, and the shows securing the status as NBC's 3 most watched non-sports programs of the season bode particularly well for their renewal odds heading into 2025. While we don't know when NBC will start making decisions about its current lineup, we don't see a world in which Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD aren't renewed for another season. The numbers clearly speak for themselves as all 3 shows remain incredibly successful for the network, and we imagine they'll soon be enjoying some season-high ratings when the crossover event airs this January. Given we also know that Wolf Entertainment is one of the most cost-efficient studios in the industry, there is simply no way NBC opts not to renew the One Chicago shows. What we're more interested to see is whether NBC might decide to bet big on the shows with a multi-season renewal or go with a more standard single-season renewal. We've seen the network take both approaches with the shows, so there's no telling what the plan might be for renewing the shows, but what we know is that with ratings as good as these, we're not worried at all about the One Chicago franchise's future at NBC. This year's highlights have come from the firefighting drama. Over the previous year, Chicago Fire has experienced numerous changes. Characters have come and gone, long-standing connections have been questioned, and many have found it difficult to adjust to these changes. 2024 has seen the second half of Chicago Fire Season 12 and the first half of Season 13, and as such, we thought it would be a good idea to cherry-pick the moments we thought stood out most. For the right reasons, that is. Chief Bowden leaves Firehouse 51, Season 12, Episode 13. It may sound weird to list the exit of a beloved character as being a highlight, but we're here to commend the way that Chicago Fire executed. Wallace Bowden, Eamon Walker, has been part of the show since day one, so it was critical that the writers stick the landing with his transition to a new role. Fortunately, they did. The Season 12 finale gave Bowden a chance to have heartfelt exchanges with all the characters who have impacted his life over the years. It was understated in comparison to some of the other exits, but the fact that the character is still around in a supporting role means we aren't really saying goodbye. Violet McCamey and Lila Novak's tight bond, Season 13, Episode 4. Violet McCamey, Hanako Greensmith, and Lila Novak, Jocelyn Houdin, established a strong work rapport in Season 12, But things kicked up a notch when the former's job was on the line in season 13. Instead of sandbagging her co-worker, Novik stuck up for Violet and assured those who doubted the medic's actions that she was acting in the best interest of her patient. Fortunately, Violet was clear of any wrongdoing, and her and Novik have been able to build their friendship into one of the tightest of the entire firehouse. Chief Pascal and Kelly's Severide Smoke Cigars, Season 13, Episode 7. Chief Dom Pascal, Dermot Mulroney, was brought in to replace Bowden, and there was definitely some bumpy moments coming out the gate. A scene that showed Dom Pascal's potential within the show, though, was the cigar conversation he had with Kelly's Severide, Taylor Kinney, in Season 13. The two men, who had previously clashed, sat down and smoked together while figuring out a solution and investigation that required some, well, off-the-books help. The pair saw eye to eye and gained a newfound respect for one another without outright saying it. Good stuff. Joe Cruz's Blast from the Past, Season 13, Episode 8. Joe Cruz has largely settled into his role as doting father in Chicago Fire's recent seasons. The character hasn't had to contend with anything as dramatic as the street gang that beat up his brother in Season 1. Well, he didn't, until a member of the same gang returned in the Season 13 fall finale. Cruz was confronted by a man who saw him leave gang leader Flaco, Jose Antonio Garcia, for dead during a building fire. It was a shocking revelation, and one that harkened back to the origins of the show in a way we didn't see coming. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my Fast Gossip 24 to our channel, and stay with us.